Okay, we are talking today. This is live from Omega Studios. Omega, woo, 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 woo. So anyway, well, anyway, um, today. Hi, how are you? We are talking about the end of the world. No, I don't think it's going to end, but some people think that it is. And every so often, I notice we have a new end of the world thing. And down below is my email. If you think the end of the world is going to happen and you want to communicate, no problem. Want to send me your phone number and you want to talk about a subject that you didn't want to bring up here? No problem. Over here, we can chat. You can tell me where you're from. We're here in Pahrump, Nevada, and I had a hard time. My my pooter needs to be actually just cleaned up and done. And right now, I just don't have the money. So it was improperly shut down because I didn't know that I got too high, and yeah, the plug came undone. And of course, I went to go online and it just bloop, turned off. So I said, okay, all right, that's fine. So here I am today. Let me turn on the light for the background. I have not added anything on any social media. I like to get on here for a bit. Hi, how are you? Thanks for the thumbs up. We are talking about the end of the world. Not like there's going to be the end of the world, but every so often there are things come out and people think that the end of the world is going to be happening soon. And I don't think so. But what is your feeling? Like I said, if you think there's going to be in the world and you got stuff to give away, down below, email and everything, I'll come pick it up. You can be like my uncle and his wife, Jean. You can go and wait for someone to die and try to steal their stuff. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to. What I usually do is I manually. What I do is I manually do this. What is that? View channel. But I usually stare at my X first because it's easier for some reason. I have no idea. I posted, boom, done, and then I'm back again. See, and then Snapchat. Hi. Snapchat takes a little bit longer. That's all. See, you put it on, you're still waiting because it says sent, and you gotta wait. See, takes a little bit longer, so I leave it last. Okay. Hi, baby. This is my baby. Yes, you are my baby. Oh yeah, he's so sweet. This is Bobby. He's a bobtail. He's a bobtail cat. That's why I call him Bobby. He's so sweet. He's being sweet today. Hi. So anyway, here I am. Let me scooch up a little bit more. I'm a mile away, is what my grandma said. I don't get it. I put eyeliner, eyelash stuff, and it just doesn't seem like it gives me the volume. Oh. My cat's smelling everything I put down or out of there. He'll go, all right, that looks about right. All right. Let me see here. Nope. Can't use that. Oh, this is what I'm looking for. This gives me a little more value. Anyway, yeah, I was like, wow, you know. So anyway, yeah, today was pretty good. I'm gonna say that it was unusual. There we go. Ah, why? My cat's looking at me. So anyway, yeah, it was really unusual. How can I say this? It's just last year at this time was a whole different thing than what it is this year. It was a whole different ball of wax. There we go. And I got my cat. He's like, "You're not paying attention to me," and I got to have attention. He's like my kid. Aw. There we go. And that's a typical cat. All right. So anyway, the end of the world things, and like what a lot of people have been talking about is all the weird weather. You know, we're having like this weather here is supposed to be actually nice and warm or warmer. You know, because in the morning it's kind of colder. You know, so yeah. Wow. I lost my person. So anyway, in dealing with the end of times, like I said, it's like every 15 years, it seems like that's the end of the yeah, it does seem really weird. We're having some really cold weather. But remember, we haven't had cold weather in, you know, in some places since the late 70s. So now we're having this happen again, and look how bad it is. Do you think that we can fare better than the 70s? So let's see how it happens. And for those people who are saying, well, there's nothing going on, and for me it's like the earth has gone through changes. The one thing that is going to happen would be the changes of the North Pole, where they change, where I guess they would call it the skin of the earth moves. Then you're going to have something going on. Boy, you're not going to have internet for a while. I'll admit to that. But let's just be honest before you go and, start doing what my ex did. A while ago, he wanted to get everything and, have, for like doomsday. And of course, after 10 years, you got to do something with that food. Yeah, I'm not joking. I have 10-year-old food, more or less has just started to, you know, I have to use it up. And I'm like, good thing I didn't have the money to buy $200 to $400 worth. I would have been so screwed. Do you know if he wanted to buy these MREs, do you know what it does? Real MREs. Real MREs. Yeah, my dad thought it was cute to give me and my brother MREs, and we thought we were camping for real. I'm like, woo! It stops you up. It really does. It causes you not to, it's the number two thing. Yeah. So, yeah. Nothing that helps better than prunes, kid you not. Couple prunes later, I was good to go. That plug was undone. So I am here smoking and toking and joking. So I haven't really been on TikTok per se in a while. But anyway, oh, usually it's only 12 minutes in and I'm ready to go and hit the hay. Oh, it's a Monday. Usually I get Mondays off, but I figured since I did not go on Sunday, because what happened was my computer was unplugged. I didn't know it ran out of power and went bleep, and that was it. It needs to reboot and go through all this stuff, and it takes about a couple hours for it to do the whole gamut. So if it happens right before I go on, I'm kind of screwed. That's why sometimes I would go on my phone. I was so tired yesterday, I just said, hell with it. But here I am, and I am going to be off tomorrow. So, you know, I figured since I didn't go on Sunday that I would go on today. So here I am. We're talking about the end of the world. I believe that when you have, they even talk about, what is it? Oh, Nibiru and all that stuff. Now we're getting into the end of the world with the Navajo. Oh, yeah. They talk about the Kachina. And that in itself is a whole different thing. Our world is going to supposedly end, and that's another end of the world thing. Yeah, so we have, even Navajo believe that there is an end of the world. But I, for myself, I'm just taking it as it's a beginning of a whole new world. And I really do believe that is a more positive. There's no room for negative. God. So I am filling up my bong, and we are going to talk about different varieties. There's people who believe that Planet Nibiru, the destroyer, the thing from the Bible, yeah, it's coming back, with a vengeance. You got the people from Nibiru going, hey, where's our gold? And uh, I don't know if they're going to be able to get into Fort Knox. Well, of course, they do have their ways of getting stuff. So who knows? Maybe they will. So there we go. So anyway, whew, my back is just killing me. Whew. Okay, so here we are. We're talking about the end of the world. Now, we all know that, Nostradamus even talked about the end of the world. He talked about all the people, what was it? The one that came close to what, the guy with the funky mustache. Yeah, he talked about him. So let's now talk about the positive side of what people have been talking about on the beginning of the world, not the end, but the beginning. A whole different world where people have a different vibration to want to better themselves, to keep on, like I say, every day I'm a better person than what I was yesterday. And that's what I believe that the world's going to end up. We're going to be more wanting to heal ourselves with vitamins and exercise than taking a pill and crossing our fingers and hoping that our liver will last long enough for us to I guess it would be like a lot of these pills, like I said, they cause all these weird things that could kill you. I, it's meant to be a band-aid so you can find the problem on the actuality. We need to learn how to heal our bodies for ourselves. We have that ability. So raise our bongs and say, yes, hallelujah, amen. Amen to good medicine. Amen to good doctors. Because good Lord, I'm going to be honest, Jesus. I have yet to meet a really good doctor and keep them. I had one good doctor, Michael. That was it. And now I got a row of poopy pants doctors. So, Jesus, we need to work on the better doctors. Good gracious. Thank you for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Now, if you want to, please go on a side here, over here. You can talk. You can tell me, how you feel that people are different than what they were when, let's say, you were in your 30s. Because I remember when I was in my 30s, I don't think I could have told you know how some people you'll hear them while they're in line, and this one lady was with her daughter-in-law, and she was just like bitching to her mom and stuff. And I can understand if the mom had like a gambling problem. No, it was just like belittling her just because she could. I was like, oh, it's not the end of the world, but damn. My back has been getting uh, but anyway, that's just, one instance. And, you got the end of the world where people talk about the Kachina and they talk about the planet, the red planet. and not the closest red planet. They're talking about Nibiru. Look it up. They got it. Planet 101 survival. I got that. And the guy who narrates, Planet 101 survival is dead. Yeah, he died. He married a younger lady, got her pregnant. He's got his legacy right there because he didn't get to live to see it. But hey, it is what it is. He got to enjoy it while he could. You know what I mean? So we also have people believing that Jesus will come out of a spaceship. I'm not making this up. All right, not out of the clouds, out of a spaceship and take everyone up. All right. Yeah, let's all laugh about that one because I think that one's hilarious. All right. How about this one? About a couple months ago, in October. Yeah, you remember that. Everyone thought that Jesus was coming back. So you had women giving away their children because they believed that Jesus would leave the children behind. So there would be no one to take care of their children. So they gave them to CPS. Yeah. That was a real winner. Yeah, some of these people are hoping to spend Christmas with their children because apparently online or uh, someone had said that there was going to be the end of the world on October. It is, I don't know how many people have stated that. I think it's different for everybody for their end of the world. I don't know. I really I think that I have a belief more in the pole shift than the end of the world. And yeah, if it's a pole shift, it's going to be a hard time. It's good to get some good basic, like if you get that feeling, the reason is for the past so many years, it has been shifting the pole itself and it has been moving. So it's eminent over time. So where'd my cat go? I heard him go, and I'm like, where is he? He must be perched up somewhere because I got these little cubby holes and he likes to go in them. He opens them up on his own, but the top ones I keep open for him. So anyway, yeah, we got the people believing last time it was the Mayan calendar. Now that finally, well, where'd you come away from? Hi, Bobby. Oh, you are such a sweetie. Oh, there you go. Aw. So anyway, you have the Mayans, and finally that came up to where it's like, okay, now what? Oh, they read it wrong. Because we got to go back on the Mayans because that's the only thing that they got that the archaeologists feel relevant. Really. They've gone back to the Mayan calendar more times than a guy going back to a horror house. It's like they just can't get enough. Hi, Greg Peterson. It's already begun on that one. Yeah. It has begun. I heard, but they talk about another stream starting and the other one like getting slower. Like it's not stopping, but it's getting slower. That's why the reason why our weather is controlled by our waters. So when our waters are running a little bit warm and the Gulf Stream's not going all right, that's when we get the El Nino, and the El Shide. And when you get a lot of snow and stuff that's happening now, it means that it is nearing to stopping. Just like in the movie. Oh, did I just think about that? Just like in the movie. The reason why, okay, remember what they said in the movie? They drew a line, and everything from west of the Iraqis was going to survive, and everything from back from the east to the Rockies was going to freeze to death. Could that be the end of the world? Yeah, a lot of people no longer living or living underground. How cold is Britain this year? This year should be probably the coldest they've seen in close to 50 years or longer. Guaranteed. That's how bad the Gulf Stream is. And the other time in the 70s, the Gulf Stream did the same thing. Act all funky. Like it's, hey, we're going through a dry run, so let's just do it. What, 19, in the 70s? It was like crappy weather from hell. It's like the devil opened up his U-Bot and it just went all over, and it was snow or rain or slush or just crap. Or a little bit of mixture of both. Those are always fun to drive in. My state doesn't use salt. Mine uses sand. Lovely. Or my favorite, which I still need to buy, is chains and learn to put them on because I have to learn to put them on. So I will have to do that. Maybe I'll try to learn to put them on and see how fast I could do it, and be like timing myself. I bet you Britain's going to be cold, just like Michigan. That's where I grew up. I grew up in California and Michigan, and I spent summers in California, and Lord have mercy, when I went to Michigan, it was like, oh wow. Every winter was a cold one because I didn't get acclimated. I was spending it in one hemisphere and in another hemisphere. So, but I enjoyed my life with my family. I loved hanging out with the Kowalskis. They're another part of my family. Blonde haired, blue eyed bunch of people. Smart asses. Smart. Oh, yeah. No smarty pants. Then I had my twin cousins, the Ding Dong brothers. They know who they are. One day they'll watch. So, yeah, you know, I had an amazing life. I could have done something with it. I could have gone on a different life. But here I am. I guess you would say not a penny wiser, but definitely smarter in the fact of, the life hard knocks of life. So, yeah. Have you, well, it's like I just pull everything out that's the end of the world thing because I remember when uh, the video came out for this Planet 101, and I put it off, in my private videos and stuff, because I thought to myself, wow, I was watching it last year, and I'm going, I'm thinking to myself, this guy's been dead for like a while, like a long while. I mean, I think he passed away before we even moved to Nevada, when we were still living in California. And I thought to myself, you know, he talked about surviving. I wanted to tell him, dude, your stomach's rounder than a big pregnant woman. You talk about your wife being pregnant, and I'm thinking, you're going to be lucky enough to see the kid through kindergarten. He was like in his 70s. So, he wasn't like in his 40s by far. So I thought to myself, wow, okay. And he did end up passing. I bought his material. All right, I'm thinking I'm getting a book. And I'm like, I spent almost $100 on this piece of shit stuff that I got it on what radio show? It's on shoot. Well, it was on Art, not Art Bell, but the other radio show. Well, anyway, I got it because they made out like his shit was pretty, high class, pretty well written. I get it in the mail. It looks like something that a college student put together. I'm like, I think even a college student would have been a lot better. And I'm like, okay. I never bought any more of his shit. I just was like, this is $100. I almost wanted to kind of write the show, but I thought, oh God, no. It's all good. Anyway, yeah. Oh, what's that show called? AM. Oh, no, 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 let me look it up. Oh well, it's well, we'll get to see the end of the world, and I'll guarantee it. Gulfstream changes anymore, we're going to get a lot more snow because that's, remember what was it? What was that movie where I remember my son and dad went to go see the movies and theirs were going on. And I go, oh, it's okay. I'm reading my book and, being quiet. And Lane goes, oh, it's no big deal. So they bring me in the movie theater because it's halfway done. And I'm like, well, is this going to be a crapper for me to see, And it really wasn't. There was a really good, movie thing. What was it? In the Days movies. Let me see. What was that? Ah, shoot. Because I remember them drawing the thing, and anything from west of the Rockies was safe. Everything east of the Rockies was cold as fuck. So if you're thinking of maybe watching, those indie life ending, or end of the world movies, the ones that have been made for the last 15 years, especially the one where the guy's son goes over to New York and he goes to save his son. because New York is frozen, and he tells the president of the United States everything west of the Rockies is salvageable, everything east of the Rockies is frozen tundra. And that's how he stated that. Think about that. It showed the ice, the Liberty. I don't want to get in any like trouble or anything. I'm just putting it out there. It's like one of the many movies. I think Dennis Quaid played it. Oh, or was it? Yeah. So you have a lot of really good actors that are on cue with that. But then it's like you got other stuff where you hear, Planet X 101, you know, and that video is so old that it can go with your high school 90s videos, along with, some other videos that you didn't want to be caught with in high school. So here it is. You got a guy who's long been dead since the early 2000s telling you how to survive in something that he gives really great practical advice, learning how to breathe, which also helps with giving birth, having pain where you're going through an operation without any anesthesia or weed, and not knowing how to breathe can make a big difference, in the pain. So if you learn in Lamaze, you can use it the same instance for pain. If you're not giving birth, but you really are in pain, and it's not like a headache is so easy to get rid of. What you do is you get an ice cube, you put an ice cube just at the ending of where your hair is, and for 2 minutes you put it on your skin, you take it off, you put it on, you take it off for 2 minutes, and then afterwards your headache will cease. So the ending of the world, have you planned for the ending of the world? Or you just...
Hey Dad, when do you want to head out? I'm getting ready right now.
So yeah, it's something, And here it is, it's 2025.
All right, so will I.
And a lot of things are changing because do that map right now. Do you think it's about right? I don't know. I mean, I think it's more snowier on everywhere, because if you've seen that map, he just threw it like it was cut in half. And he said, all of America, anything east of the Rockies is frozen tundra, and everything west is salvageable. Wow. That's a lot of people in one fell swoop. You know what I mean? Yeah. So let's all meditate. And I think it's more or less they talk about the earth going to changes. I think the earth is healing. And that's what I think that it's doing. And how it heals is it, does all these things. So, yep. Well, I'm wearing my weed outfit. This is my weed outfit with my weed shirt, Yippers. So yeah, I just couldn't believe it that some people were giving away their stuff, including their kids. CPS workers, they think Jesus is going to come and take them. They're going to go to the cosmic party. There's this big party going on, and Jesus is going, hey, you brought the kids? God dang, you can't go to the party now. You can go watch the kids. Too dark to see what you're wearing. Oh, vampire wear. Just go where I go shopping, I mean, I'm going to be honest. When I was a teenager and Hot Topics first started out, I didn't have the damn money. They didn't have the good deals like they do now. This stuff was handmade. Usually it was a one of a kind of shit. And now they mass produce this stuff. It blew my mind when it first started being mass produced. And, and then because I remember a pair of pants that I used my dad's credit card on was $120 back in the, yeah, I didn't shop back then, but boy, today now I do. Hot Topic was a hot price. Yeah, they do have stuff that's $120, but man, you paid for a pair of pants that was done, a hand done. My dad said he could have done a better job. Really? Oh, and I paid him for it. I had no problem. I worked. He just wanted to see those pants. And Hot Topic got better and better, God dang, why not? I can fit in the clothes and shoot, when I had, All right, that's enough love biting. Let's puff and share the love. Oh, too dark to see what I'm wearing. Okay. It's just pants outfit. Make a pant shirt. Yeah. So anyway, so what changes in the weather have you seen lately that is different than what normally the weather is like? Because from what my understanding is in the movie, they go and take the queen and her family to the safe area, and on the way back, which if they knew something was coming, don't you think they would say, well, fuck the helicopter, come with us? Yeah, I don't think that would be that way. It was just for a dramatic thing where a guy opened the helicopter thing, he breathed in the air, and he froze to death. What do you think about that? And they do talk about in archaeology called flash frozen, where what they find was like, how they talk about flash frozen is like, shoom, you're, from soft matter to frozen in minutes is flash frozen. That's crazy, man. It really is. Oh, you're such a pretty kitty. You shoom. He is so pretty. He's like, look at me. He gets yeah. Look at, say hello to everybody. Okay. Do you get lovinge? He goes, I need my attention. I'm an attention whore. There we go. So, in dealing with, the end of the world, you know what? Pray for people, live your life. If things happen where you are to help other people and to raise their vibration, then yeah. But if you're here to be a bastard or an asshole, then maybe you should go, somewhere else, because really, that's why we came here, raise our vibration, remember. So here, yeah, I miss the old Hot Topic, but that was really expensive. Like, we're talking, you can probably drop $800 and have a small bag to show for it back then. Everything was handmade. It was a big proud thing saying American made. You don't see it that often anymore where, your clothing says made in America. Those are from the 80s and the 70s. So it's well, it's almost that time. So tomorrow I will be not on. I will be on at Wednesday at 6. I wasn't on yesterday, so I figure I was going to do something on one of um, a meditational video and a more original something of what he has. Of course, I did have for a while, people had said that somebody had put my I guess you would say uh, click thing or whatever for had put my God, I forget when I smoke weed. Well, anyway, a lot of people were coming from this inappropriate room. They had devil worshiping, and they had another room on caca. So anyway, I think that somebody doesn't like me. It's like, hey, the haters are welcome. Also, please down below, email me all you want. You don't like me? Email me. Tell me where to go. Dang it. I'll have to pick that up later. Hi, how are you? Shoot. Trump needs to get rid of the high fructose corn syrup, which they don't use in the UK. In fact, you know what else they don't use? You know our cheapest bread, the white bread that's all fluffy, for weeks fluffy? You know why? They use a special ingredient, the same ingredient that's used in yoga mats. Look it up. Oh, yeah. The same ingredient in those wonderful yoga mats here in America. You can not only be in a yoga class and eating bread made to be more for yoga than bread. It's not meant for edibility, you know. And some people will start reading the scriptures how our food is poisoned. Think about it. Would you eat bread that has yoga mat material? Think about a yoga mat. It's different colors. Usually it's black. I got a bunch of black ones. They're nice and fluffy. I got some shoes made out of yoga mat material. I don't think I want to have it ingest it, but I sure the hell know I have now. You know, it's just when you don't have the money, where am I going to go buy? I'm going to buy yoga mat material. Also, that's horrible for your bronchioles and stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's because it has ill effects on your liver and stuff. If you eat a bunch of the, like, you hear about people eating certain colored food. Well, baby, you gotta just mix that shit up because whew, you're right there. You hear Ellen wants to move back to the US. She can't sell her place in France because it keeps flooding. Oh, that's so funny. How she was going to run from Trump. Oh my gosh. And a year later, she wants to come back. So now she paid, I think, double the price of what it was worth. And I guess it would be something, that wasn't good money. If you think about it, you know, double the price, and now she can't sell it. She's going to have to take a loss to move to the US. Oh, yeah, you go stay there, Ellen. Do your own talking on YouTube or something. Yeah. Yep, there's many food colorings and things that, it's like, well, we got yoga mats that we're eating. We're eating yoga mats. Her food coloring, it does wonders for us. Gives us that glossy glow. Makes us glow in the dark. That's how they notice the difference between Americans and Europeans. We glow in the dark. There you go. Over there, that's an American. Oh, yeah, that's an American right there. Look at when it gets dark. Yep, see, look at that. See, all the Americans are the ones glowing in the dark. That's right. We keep this up, we're going to be it's like Europe's going to be like you glow in the dark. We just need you to come and visit without glowing in the dark. We are finishing up talking about the end of the world stuff and, of course, glowing in the dark and having food that you really can't eat. So we'll be talking about foods that are bad, and I have some really good people who talk about places and foods to avoid, you know. Well, did you want to talk about dreams? I'm really a good dream interpreter. So come on Wednesday and I can interpret dreams, and I'm pretty good. I've done them before. My son and I used to bounce them back and forth. If not, I can look it up and we can talk about it. But yeah. Well, it means when you have dreams of child, that's new beginnings. So you could have a new beginning. Yeah, you have a new beginning. You as a child, meaning you have a new beginning. Like there's a new chapter in your life starting, brand new. It could be even that you could be expecting a child. Because usually people who dream about themselves being a child, it's their wanting to be a father, to that their little son, junior. It also can mean, wow. Well, it must have went from devil worshiping to the poop room to now a sadistic room. Ooh, boy, they're just having fun. There's nothing like, copy and paste. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. Have a good one. All right. Bye. See you Wednesday, 6 o'clock.